Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Tuesday, September 6th slate of MLB action. I'm super excited to dive into it. I do wish we had some college football on today, but unfortunately we do have to take a little bit of a break from it. But we will be starting that back up as soon as that does start up. We also do have NFL starting on Thursday. I haven't fully decided if I'm going to do a separate video for it or if I'm just going to incorporate one play in the end of the video, kind of like I have been for these college football plays. Truly haven't decided yet, but let me know what you guys think down below. Just let me know if you guys think I should do a full video with like 2 or 3 plays, or if I should just put my favorite play down at the end of the video for the day. Whichever you guys would prefer, I'll probably go ahead and do, since there is only one game. And then once the weekend slate actually ends up hit, I'll do a full game so that way I can do multiple plays. But, just let me know what you guys think about it. But before we do, I did just want to go ahead and say really quick, we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. We are less than 200 subscribers away from that 7,000 mark. And if we do end up hitting that 7,000 mark, I will be doing a giveaway, a pretty big one actually. So make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me, so much more than you guys will ever know. So, we do have a couple plays here for you guys, and we'll do a quick recap as of yesterday. We ended up having one of our plays voided, but we will get into that here in a minute. Just a quick word here from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by PrizePicks. If you guys don't currently have a sports book that you do use, or if you do have one and you're just looking for something new, PrizePicks is a great way to get started. As you guys can see here on the screen, we are able to bet on pretty much every single sport that you can think of. We have MLB, we have the NFL, as of right now is the preseason, we have college football, we even have things like CSGO and some esports as well. And obviously, as you guys know, I'm a huge NBA guy, so once the NBA season does come around, you guys will be able to bet on player props from there as well. PrizePicks is very easy to use. I do love the no-run first innings, and that is something that you can go ahead and bet on here on PrizePicks as well. It's an absolutely fantastic app and website as well. So if you guys haven't already signed up for PrizePicks, make sure that you guys do that and use code KingSanders, and you can go ahead and get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. So the way that it does work is you go ahead and pick a couple here. So I'm just going to, for the sake of the video, say that the White Sox and the Orioles tomorrow are going to have a no-run first inning. The Toronto and Boston and the Cincinnati and Philadelphia are all going to have no-run first inning. Basically what I would do, I would go ahead and click less for all of these and do what is called a power play, which is basically the same as a parlay. All 3 legs do have to hit in order for the bet to actually cash out. On the flip side of things, you can also do a flex play. The flex play basically means if you do get one of the legs wrong, that's perfectly fine. You can still win some money. So PrizePicks is a great way to be able to win some money using player props and things of that nature to be able to win some money. So you can put together a bunch of different legs to win out some pretty big money. So once again, make sure you guys do use code KingSanders for whenever you do sign up. You will get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. And once again, thank you so much, PrizePicks, for sponsoring today's video. So yes, we are back as of right now, and as you guys can kind of see on the overlay, and as I'm sure that you guys saw either from my tweet or my community tab post, one of the two, we did end up having a game that was postponed due to weather, and that was the Mets game. I had the Mets minus 1.5. I really loved that play. I thought for sure it was going to hit, but unfortunately we're never going to know just because of the fact that the game did end up getting postponed. So, nothing you can do about that. The rest of the video, we ended up going 1-1 on our official plays. I did end up tweeting out my leans for everything as of yesterday as well. And it was pretty much the exact same result, pretty much even across the whole day. So, nothing too crazy. But when it does come to the other 2 plays that we did end up having, we had the White Sox and the Mariners under 7.5 runs. I'm sorry if you had the first 5 under, because the White Sox started off really high. I think that they ended up scoring 3 in the first 5. The Mariners ended up scoring 1. And so with that being said, they ended up having 4 through the first 5. And White Sox started off hot, and then nobody else scored the rest of the game. So it was definitely an interesting one for sure. Then we did have our college football play, Georgia Tech plus 23.5. Georgia Tech played really, really well up until about the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth, and then it was just like they completely forgot how to play football. It was very, very unfortunate. They ended up not only, I believe, yeah, I think it was, they hit the over and they ended up hitting the cover both for Clemson, all within like the last like 2 minutes of the game. So it was a crazy day overall. Overall, we ended up going 1-1 on the day, losing just a little bit of money. So hopefully we can go ahead and bounce back as of today. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's plays. So for our first play of the day, we're going with the play that ended up getting postponed to today. We're taking the Mets minus 1.5 here versus Pittsburgh on minus 130 odds. A little bit more juiced. It was minus 120 yesterday. I'm sure that you can find some books that do have it at minus 120 as well. But Pittsburgh is coming off of a 3-4 loss versus the Blue Jays, and they are set to just plus 100 value. I do believe that that it's kind of a trappy line that they want you to take that plus 100. But the Mets, they've gotten stomped twice here by the red-hot Washington team in their last two games, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be taking Pittsburgh, seeing just how bad the Mets performed in their last two games. But I think it's a good spot to turn it around. Mets are 38-28 to the road run line so far this year, 22-17 as a road favorite. So definitely nothing not too much of an advantage, not too much more profitable when it comes to being a favorite. But I still think it's a really good spot to target. Pittsburgh is also 31-34 to the home run line. So they are not even 500 when it comes to the home run line. So sign me up for it. The Mets, they are also just a much better team in almost every single stat. Mets 6th in runs per game. Pittsburgh 28th. So a much better offense. The Mets are also 5th when it comes to runs allowed. Pittsburgh is 27th. So not only are the Mets a top 5 defense, but they are just outside the top 5 when it comes to offense as well. I think it's a really good spot to target here. And we have Taijuan Walker here for the Mets up on the mound. 3.45 ERA, 3.29 on the road, and an earned run log of 3-2-0-2 and 8 earned runs in each of his last 5 starts. Now, and these were against very, very solid teams as well. They were against the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Braves, and Cincinnati. So he's only pitched against really solid teams here in his last 5 starts. So I think that with a much worse offense versus Pittsburgh, I do think that he is going to thrive for sure. And on the flip side of the mound, we have Mitch Keller for Pittsburgh. He definitely doesn't scare me whatsoever. He has a 4.43 ERA over the course of the season, 4.7 in his last 5, and a 4.81 at home. So definitely a worse pitcher at home, but it's not like he's been great either. So I think that we do see a pitching advantage here for the Mets as well. Pittsburgh is also 27th when it comes to bullpen ERA, and the Mets, they're 11th. So a huge pitching advantage once we get to the bullpens as well for the Mets. Taijuan Walker usually does go pretty late into the game, but once they end up taking him out, I don't think we need to worry about it whatsoever. So that is going to be our first play of the day. Mets minus 1.5 here versus Pittsburgh at minus 130 odds. Now for our second play of the day, we're taking another run line. We're taking the Cardinals minus 1.5 here versus Washington at minus 120 odds. Now this is another spot that I think that they're trying to trap you into. First of all, Washington is plus 100 odds because they're one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. I got it. I know. But I do think that the Nationals are due for some regression here. The Washington Nationals have covered in 5 of their last 6 games, and they just stomped the Cardinals by 6 yesterday. Why in the world are Cardinals favored not only to win the game at like minus 250 or something, but why are they favored to cover the run line as well at minus 120? I think that there is something going on here. And surprisingly, I know that St. Louis got stomped yesterday, but they've still won and covered in 7 of their last 9 games. And they're one of the best teams to the home run line so far this year with a home run line record of 41-27. They're a very good home team. So I think this is a really good spot to target. Also, St. Louis, one of the top 2 offenses in baseball. They are second when it comes to runs per game. Washington is 25th. So I do think that St. Louis is just overall the better team. St. Louis is also 8th when it comes to runs allowed, so a top 10 defense as well. Washington is 29th. They're almost the worst defense in baseball. So I do think that they are due for some negative regression here. Also, Paolo Espino is going to be on the mound here for Washington. He does not scare me whatsoever. 4.22 ERA, 7.71 through 4 2/3 innings pitched here versus St. Louis. I think that that is a really good spot to target as well. And if you look at his last 4 starts, he has an earned run log of 1, 3, 3, and 4. And both the 3 and 4 were to San Diego. The other 2 were to some more worse offenses. He does really pitch bad against good offenses. So hopefully, and the Cardinals are obviously a very good offense. So hopefully we can see Espino go ahead and pitch another poor game. And on the flip side of the mound for St. Louis, we have Jose Quintana. Definitely not their best pitcher, but he's been a very good home pitcher. He has a 3.47 ERA over the course of the season, 2.5 at home, and 2 earned runs in each of his last 5 starts, which I thought was kind of interesting. He's very consistent, and at home, 2.5 ERA. I'll take that any day of the week. St. Louis is also 11th in bullpen ERA, Washington 18th. So not a huge advantage there, but once we do get to the bullpens, St. Louis does have a slight advantage as well. So that is going to be our second play of the day. Cardinals minus 1.5 here versus Washington at minus 120 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, this play just doesn't make sense. I don't really get it too much, so we're going to be riding with it. Rangers and the Astros under 7.5 runs at minus 115 odds. Now, this line just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and let me kind of explain why. We're looking at 2 of the best offenses in baseball. Houston is 9th when it comes to runs per game. Texas is 11th. So both these teams are either in the top 10 or just outside of the top 10. Houston, they are a very good defense. I will say that. They are second when it comes to runs allowed. The second best defense in all of baseball. But Texas, they're 23rd. So they're definitely not a good defense whatsoever. However, on the road, that number does drop by 0.62 runs allowed per game. So they're a much better defense on the road. So hopefully we can see some more of that. And Glenn Otto for Texas is going to be on the mound. He's definitely not a great pitcher, 4.82 ERA, but he is a little bit better on the road, 3.7 ERA on the road, and he's actually been pretty solid in his last 5 starts, 3.38 ERA in his last 5 starts. Been a little bit better for sure. Now for Houston, I don't really worry about them too much. Framber Valdez is going to be on the mound here for Houston. 2.63 ERA, 3.27 at home, so he is a little bit worse at home, which is another reason I just don't think that this line makes sense. But he's pitched 28 innings versus Texas, has a .96 ERA. I'll take that any day of the week. So Houston also has the best bullpen ERA in the entire MLB. And Texas is 13th. So Texas definitely not nearly as good as Houston when it comes to bullpen ERA, but still I think it's a pretty good spot to target. So that is going to be our third and final play of the day. Rangers and Astros under 7.5 runs at minus 115 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Sander signing out. Peace.